I'm going to go over numbers 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. This is your homework, but also please know that there is a second homework assignment, which is really, really easy. And I'm going to just say this to those that do the video. If you have it done, the first 10 students to have it done will get a special prize. So, and I'll know based on like who does the assignment first. So what I mean by that is make sure you go to eClass and do your second assignment on there. Okay? All right, you could spread the word if you want, see if your friends might want to also be up there. Okay, so starting with number 11, you have the direction says find the slope of the line containing the given 2 points. So these 2 points happen to be on a line, and so all we need are 2 points. If the line, if it's a line, it has a constant rate of change. So, all right, so we'll go to here and remembering our formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'll need to find those points, identify them, designate them. So I'll call this x1, y1, then x2, y2. All right, write your subtraction always first, because then when you have to put some number in there and the sign is affected, at least you already have the minus in there to begin with. So my y2 here is 3, subtract 1, because y2 minus y1, and then x2, 0, minus 8.5. Okay, let's see what that comes out to be. 3 minus 1 is 2. Again, please use your calculators, and 0 minus 8.5 is negative 8.5. Now, since we have a fraction with a decimal in it, let's go ahead and actually divide out the decimal. So I'm going to use my computer calculator, and I'm going to do 2 divided by negative 8.5, and I should get a negative. And this comes out to be an approximate 0.24 negative, which is fine. So my slope is negative, and it's going down 0.24. So approximately negative 0.24. Okay? And it was 235 and so on, but the reason I am rounding to 4 is because the 5 tells the 3 to go up. Okay, that's number 11. Let's do number 12. And that's the slope of this line. It's going down a little bit by little bit, 0.24 at a time. All right, here I'll kind of change the order, x1, y1, and then x2, y2. All right, so same formula. I'll put the y2 in first. In this case, my y2 is negative 1, and let me write my subtractions first. y2 minus y1, which is 0. x2, negative 7, minus x1, which is 0. So in this case, it comes out to be negative 1 over negative 7. Now, if you did it in a different order, you should still get 1 over 7. Okay, you might have gotten a positive 1 over positive 7, which in this case, negative divided by negative is positive anyway. So in the end, our answers should be the same. What you don't want is 7 over 1. That means you put change in x over a change in y, and that would be wrong. So change in x over change in y is not the correct way to do it. All right, number 13 we already did in class. Number 14, let's try that one. So this says find the slope of the line containing the points in the given table. So really we can use any of these points. So let's say I decide to go with 3, 6, and I'll try 0, 0. All right, so I have 2 points. I'm ready to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so what are my x2, y2, and all that stuff? So I'll make this one my x1, y1, or you can make it x2, y2. And then this is x2, y2, because I already had x1, y1. All right, so now I'm going to put my y2 in first. 6, let me make sure I write my subtraction. 6 minus 0 over 3 minus 0. So this comes out to be 6 over 3, which when you reduce it, it becomes 2 over 1. The slope is 2 over 1, or 2. Okay? So if you want to graph it to the right, whatever you have room for, because this only goes up to 5s, you can use that and figure out the answer. All right, see what the graph looks like. Number 15. Now something peculiar is happening here. All the y's are repeating, which means this is actually going to be a horizontal line. If you want to double check, here's a graph. So like 0, 1 is here, 1, 1 is here, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. 4, 1, and 5, 1. There was no 3, 1. And if you connect them all, it makes a line, a horizontal line. So the slope should end up being 0, but let's show the work that supports that. So I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, so you got to pick some points. So I'll try 5 comma 1 and I'll try 1 comma 1. Okay, I'll say this is my x1 y1 and this is my x2 y2. If you chose other points, then it's fine. You should still get the same answer. Alright, so y2 minus y1, 1 minus 1. Oops. And then x2 minus x1, 1 minus 5. Well, 1 minus 1, again, double check with your calculator, but 0. And then 1 minus 5 is negative 4. Now, when you choose other points, you may not get a negative 4 down here. You might get a different number. And that's okay because it's going to get divided by 0. Or 0 is getting divided by it. So, check your calculators, okay? Literally put 0 divided by negative 4 in your calculator, and what does the answer come out to be? 0. Okay? So remember what we said, that means that it truly is a horizontal line, because horizontal lines are the only ones that have 0 slopes. Okay, last but not least, number 16. Again, you should be pausing whenever you can. Now this time the x's are repeating, which means this is going to be a vertical line. If you want to double check, watch what it looks like when I graph it. So 2 comma 1, okay, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, and then 2 comma 5, and I don't have room for 2 comma 8, but I can envision where it is, and if I connected that, that makes a vertical line. So it's going to be a slope of undefined. However, let's do the math. You must show work and show me how you got it. Okay, so I'm still using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is a change in y over change in x. Alright, now I need to decide which one's my x1, y1, all that. So I'll do, sure, I'll use this one, and maybe I'll use this one. And I'll say this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so maybe y2 minus y1. So 5 minus 2, and then 2 minus 2. Interesting, lots of 2's going on. So 5 minus 2 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. Try putting that in your calculator. 3 divided by 0, and it's going to say, error, can't do it. So the answer is undefined, which again makes sense because if you look at all those points plotted, they actually make a vertical line, and vertical lines have an undefined slope.